There we go. Perfect. There you go.
Okay. Welcome, Mr. Richard Altabe. It is a pleasure to have you here. This is our pre-summer speakers interview, and we're
Okay.
looking forward to having you this Shabbos. And
Looking
just
forward
wanted
to
to
being
ask
there.
you, we're looking forward. I wanted to ask you some questions, so welcome.
Sure. Go ahead.
So I understand that you have a long and storied history with Long Beach, the Bach Shul in particular. I understand you are one of the board members, actually, of the Bach Shul.
Actually,
So
true.
what? Just to give us a brief overview of what your connection is, how long you've been involved with Long Beach.
Okay. My family moved to Long Beach in 1962. Um, they were relatively unaffiliated. They weren't really part of any shul in town. Through a host of miracles, which I will share when I speak, I ended up in the Hebrew Academy of Long Beach. At the same time that was happening, we had a neighbor next door who davened at the Sephardic shul. My father, being Sephardic, was brought into the Sephardic shul early on, had created a kesher with Rabbi Avitan Alav Shalom, and really became very close. He ultimately was the president of the shul for 10 years. The windows of the Sephardic shul in Long Beach were designed by my mother, who was an artist, who Baruch Hashem is still alive today. So that's that connection. And as a teenager, I got involved in NCSY, and Perry Fish, Olav Shalom, was the director of NCSY, and all my friends were in the Bach, and kids who went to Halb, that I went to Halb as a student, and so I kind of hung out in the Bach throughout my teenage years, learned how to lane and daven at the Bach, and was a youth board member of the Bach, and grew up in that shul such that I never left in actuality. And now I have a daughter who now moved to Lido Beach, and I have grandchildren who attend the Lido Beach synagogue. So I have generational history in the community, and it's kind of exciting for me to come back to Young Israel Long Beach and speak there.
Well, we're very excited to have you. And you were so I know you have a long and storied career in education. One of those positions was at Halb. When you were principal of Halb, was Halb located here in Long Beach?
So I am the guy who was the last one to leave the building in Long Beach. I had the job. I was actually hired. One of the objectives that they hired me for was to move the school. I remember the interview question. They said, we're about to purchase this campus in Woodmere, and we're located obviously in Long Beach, and we need you to move the school. And I said to them, when do you plan on moving the school? In the middle of the year. And my answer was, Halb is not the Mishkan that you could just pick it up and move it in the middle of the year. But they said, well, that's what you got to do. And somehow we made that happen. And we actually closed up the building on a Thursday and reopened the following Monday. Um, and it was an extreme challenge, which the entire school, the entire team all rose to that challenge. And we kind of did a seamless transition from where we were to where they are now. Um, and the other piece that I felt strongly about was a certain warmth and lave that was in Yeshiva Lave in Long Beach, and a certain spirit that was in the building. You can actually feel it. Actually, at least I could, because I was there as a little kid. I was there as a parent, and now here I was principal. I felt that feeling, and I said, how are we going to transmit that feeling to a new set of bricks in some other random location that used to be a public school? But to the credit of the staff, within a week, 2 weeks, you walk the building in Halb, you could still feel that same spirit, and it exists today. So even though the school might no longer be in Long Beach, and I know that's a sore topic for some people, the spirit of what Halb was still exists in its current location in Woodmere, and I have to say that I played a role in making sure that that happened.
But the ocean breeze is not the same.
You don't have, listen. My greatest memories is sitting in the classroom on the right side of the building facing the ocean. I had the window seat and I just stared out into space, and it was great. So, yeah.
And so at Halb, you were an administrator. Did you have a teaching career prior, or did you start in administration?
I started teaching in public school in 1982. I was a teacher in Yeshiva Flatbush from 1984 to 1990. I ended up being the English principal in Yeshiva Darchei Torah from 1988 till 2006. Then I was the overall principal of Magen David Yeshiva High School Hebrew and English. Then I went on to Sha'arei Torah, also in Brooklyn, as headmaster for 5 years. And then I got the call to come home to Halb, and I came home to help, and I was the lower school principal, grades preschool to 5,
Wow. Until what year?
till this past June.
This
This
past.
not this June, a year ago June, until
Wow.
2005. Yeah.
Well, I know here we have colleagues, students, we have a whole host of people that are looking forward to spending
Listen,
Shabbos with you.
Mrs. Meschenberg was my third grade teacher. I had the ability in my lifetime to have her as my teacher. She was my kids' teacher. She was my grandchild's teacher, and I was her boss. That's a story just by itself.
That is a story. Amazing. Amazing. So we're very much looking forward. I'm very curious as to what the Long Beach sand in your shoes and the ruach in your heart will sound like. That's the topic of the
Yeah,
lecture.
yeah.
And thank you very much. Any closing thoughts for people that they should be especially focused on as you speak? Anything in particular?
I'm in here. I think what I'm going to say is going to speak for itself. I have, again, a long and storied history. It's really an honor to come back home and speak to my community that I grew up in. Many of your congregants are people that I know my entire life. Rabbi Teichman was my fifth grade Rebbe. I have other congregants who I know throughout their life. Moshe Krisher, who's at Davins by you, is my former student from Darchei Torah. His wife was a social worker for me in Halb. There's a lot of connectivity, a lot of connections, and I'm really looking forward to reconnecting with my community, my family, my town, and we'll see you Shabbos.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We're looking forward as well.
Okay, take care. Bye.